kind of goes along with my first tip, which is automate. Automate your savings.
Oh, that was my next tip.
Good.
That was my next tip.
I knew we would have commonality.
Ah.
So we can both talk about that. Automate your savings and start early. So why is this so important? If you and look, a 401k, when you go to work, a lot of times nowadays it's forced
savings.
It's forced savings. You've got to opt out with all these, Secure Act rules and stuff like that.
1.0, 2.0.
Yeah. So with a 401k, that's automated. You're saying, hey, take 5% from my paycheck, put it in the 401k. That's an automation. But go beyond that. Let's talk about the emergency fund. So starting out, you've heard about, pay yourself first.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. A lot of people I meet early on, we talk about what are you saving for your emergency fund or for a down payment. Oh, well, whatever's left over at the end of the month, we'll throw that at it.
Yeah.
You got to start it, restart and say, I'm going to have it automatically deducted from either my paycheck or the checking account to go right into savings, investing, or what have you. And once you do that, you're not going to miss it.
Yeah, it's the old saying, pay yourself first.
It's exactly
and
that.
I call it, you said, I systematize your savings. So, and not only systematize your savings, but systematize your investments. So that's the second part of the process is because you don't want to think about it. Anything that you have to think about may or may not get done. I heard something the other day. It was, we don't rise to our motivation, we fall to our systems. So you've got a lot going on, and I forgot to make the transfer from the checking to the savings to the Fidelity account or my brokerage, wherever it's going. You forget. It's life. We get busy. Automate it. So on the first, if you get paid on the first of the month, you should have an automatic transfer set up on the second of the month, and it goes to this account, and then it automatically gets invested into XYZ fund, and then it's done.
In and out, you don't see it.
And here's the other important piece of that is it removes the emotion. When you have, and I do it, I struggle with it all the time. If I have cash sitting in an account somewhere, I can rationalize why I should invest it and why I should wait. It removes the emotion or just that couple of minutes of you're like, is now a good time to invest? We just had an election. Trump just won the election. Republicans have and everybody, there's this euphoric thing where you're like, oh my God, the market just ran up, right? So you can play that both ways. You can say, well, it's an amazing time to invest. Or the contrarian will say, well, let's go opposite. If everybody thinks the market is going in one direction, maybe it's not going that direction anymore. And maybe let's sit on the sidelines. And then in a month, I'll look up and invest those funds. No, remove the emotion because here's what matters. In 20 years, it doesn't matter. My thoughts about investing today or a month from now are irrelevant in 20 years. Systematizing eliminates the thinking about or remembering to invest, and it also removes the emotion out of the entry point into the market.
And the other thing, when you're first starting out, if you start this automation, we can get into where, but not now, but it's just, it creates a habit. Maybe you start out at $50 a month, and it creates that habit, and as you see that potentially grow wherever, you're like, I want to do a little bit more. Maybe I can do $60 a month.
When you have a market,
it gets addictive. Saving does.
When you have a market tailwind and you start seeing your account grow, and you're like, oh, here's a little bit of compounding interest. Hey, I put in 10,000 and I have 13. You're like, oh wow, that feels nice. And then you're like, it becomes, you gamify it.
Yeah.
It gets exciting.
That's like I said, it's addictive, it's exciting. I wonder if I do a little bit more. If you like what you're seeing so far, check out this next video. Subscribe to the channel. Lord willing, we'll see you next time.